Thanks for joining me again for another short Pilates video. It's going to be about 30 or 40 minutes long that focuses on protecting your low back. So this one might be a little bit more challenging than the last one we did, but you always have options and ways to make things appropriate for where you are. So you don't have to do something if it doesn't feel right to you. Always trust your body and do what you know works for you today, because what you could do yesterday might not work today, and what works today might not work tomorrow. It just depends on how you're feeling in your body each day. So we're going to, again, focus on keeping a neutral spine, protecting your low back. So you always want to make sure that your hip bones and your pubic bone are lined up. So that helps prevent you from overly arching your back or tucking as you're working through the exercises. So last time we started on our back. This time we're going to start on our hands and knees. So come up onto your hands and knees. You want your hands under the shoulders and your knees under your hips. And then cup your fingertips just a little bit so you're not just letting your weight press down into your hands. And even though this is a resting position, you want to feel like you're active. So you're going to pick your weight up out of your shoulders, pull your belly in, lengthen from the top of the head to your tailbone, and just take a deep breath in. Breathe in through the nose to the back of the rib cage, so you're expanding the ribs in all directions. And as you exhale, feel like you're pulling your ribs together, you're pulling your belly in even more deeply. Shoulders pull away from the ears, tops of the feet are flat on the mat. Inhale through the nose, expanding the ribs, and exhale, pulling the ribs together, letting all the air out, lifting your belly button up, pulling everything into the center. And now just continuing to warm up the spine, let's do some cat and cow stretches. So inhale, exhale, drop your chin, tuck your tailbone, really round the spine so you feel like you're lifting it up towards the ceiling. And as you inhale, your head and tailbone come up. Exhale, initiate by lifting your belly button up towards your spine. Lift up so much you feel the weight come out of your wrists. And inhale, head and tailbone come up. And then just do a couple more at your own pace, adding whatever movement feels good in your spine today. Maybe you notice if you feel sore in one spot or another. And if you do, just be mindful of that area and keep it protected as we go through the exercises. So come back to stillness. A lot of people have tight hips. So here they say wag the doll. You can curl your hips to one side and then the other, but keeping your spine neutral. If this doesn't feel good, don't do it. So you kind of look over the shoulder that you're curling in that direction, and side to side. And then come back to center and just step back with that right foot and press into that heel so you're getting a nice stretch up the back of the leg. And just take a few breaths here. And then we're going to take that right leg, cross it behind the left foot, twist and look over your shoulder so you feel a nice stretch up that right side. And then inhale, exhale, bring that foot back in line with your hip. Bring that knee right under your hip, extend that left leg out. Just lengthen, pick the weight up out of your wrist, press into those toes and lengthen that whole leg, just getting a little stretch. You can rock back and forth if it feels good. So just stretching out that foot. And then we're going to take that left foot, you're going to cross that leg behind the right foot, and then start to curl and look over your right shoulder. So you feel a nice stretch on the left side of your body and your left hip. Inhale and exhale, bring that knee right under your hip again. If you're feeling any tension in your wrist, just take a break and give them a little roll and then rejoin when you're ready. You can also roll up the front edge of your mat and place the heel of your palms on the edge, and that takes some of the pressure out of your wrist. So moving on, we're still here on our hands on our knees, and you're just going to extend that right leg out. You want to lengthen it out. You don't want your hip up here. You want to be straight across. Remember, we're keeping that neutral spine, so you don't want to be arching and sinking here. Pick the weight up out of your shoulders and your wrists, and then reach your left arm out. And hold it, and then start to lift and lower. Little lift, little lower. keeping your weight centered, not letting your torso move. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. We're going to press our arms slightly out to the side and leg out to the side. Push them back to center. Out to the side on a diagonal. Push to center. Press out. Resist as you push in. 2 more. Last one. Press. Push in. Your left hand comes back under your shoulder, and we're going to do like a seesaw, some little push-ups here. So keeping your back nice and straight, drop your elbows back, your chest drops forward, your leg lifts up. Push back up. Elbows drop back, press. Elbows drop back, press. 2 more. Hold, lengthen, bring that knee down. Just bring your big toes together. Sit back, roll your wrists around. Just release any tension in your wrists. And then we're going to come back up and do the other side. So now just reset, recenter, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, neutral spine, extend your left leg out. Again, make sure your hip isn't hiked up here. You want your hips straight across. Hips in line, reach out with your right arm. And first, just really find length here from the top of your head, moving away from your tailbone, tailbone moving away from your head, reaching with your arm, reaching with your leg, and find stillness. Lift your belly up to do that. Engage your core. Then start to lift and lower. You're already lifted just an inch up, an inch down. It's not a big movement, and you don't want to move the spine. You're keeping it really still. 5 more. 3, 2, hold it. Now we're going to press out to that diagonal, push back to the center. Press out, push back. Press out, push back. 2 more. Try not to let your weight sink down into that left wrist. Hold it. Place that right hand down. It's right under your shoulder, and we're going to do push-ups like a seesaw again. Elbows go straight back. Your leg comes with you, still lined up with your spine. Lift your belly up. 2 more. And bring that knee down. Bring your knees wider than your hips. Sit back, maybe roll your wrists around. If it doesn't bother your back, you can come into full child pose. Walk your fingertips forward. You can also bring your hands by your feet and just let your forehead rest on the mat if that feels good. Maybe move your shoulders around a little bit. Good. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, coming back up onto your hands and knees. We're going to come into a high plank here. So we're going to start with your hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Cup your fingertips a little bit. Step back with your right foot, little tuck of the pelvis, and then the left foot. So you're in a nice strong plank position. You're pressing into your heels. You're lifting your weight up out of your shoulders, lifting your belly button up towards your spine to protect your back. You can really feel your core working here to stabilize. Just make sure you don't start to let yourself sink down. So keep pulling yourself up. Taking a few breaths here. Now, if you want to make this more challenging, you can step out with the right foot to the center, left foot, center. But the goal is to not let your pelvis move side to side or up and down as you do this. And keep breathing. You can also just hold your plank and breathe. 2 more on each side. And hold. Inhale, exhale, come onto your hands and knees again. Sit back, give your wrists a little roll. Nice job. Good, so you're gonna come all the way up onto your knees, coming up tall, and you're gonna step forward with that right foot. We're gonna do a little stretch here. So you wanna step out pretty far so that you can lean in and get a nice stretch in your hip flexors. 2 hands are on your right thigh. Your chest is lifted, you're looking forward. Just take a deep breath in as you start to lean forward, but don't let your weight sink down and forward. Feel like you're lifting up at the same time. Shoulders are down. If you want to open up that hip even more, sweep your arms up, lift your chest, pressing your hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, start to shift your hips back. Hands come on either side of your leg. Now your back is flat here. Don't feel like you need to bend over that leg and put pressure on your low back. So keep your back nice and flat, flex that foot, press your heel down, pull your right hip back. And then you can experiment with how low you bring your chest as long as your back is flat. You don't have to fold over the leg, rounding the low back. And then release. Let's come back up tall, knees under the hips. We're going to do the other side. So step out with that left foot. You want your knee behind the foot so that when you lean in, knee ends up over the ankle. Hands on your thigh, chest is lifted. Start to lean forward. Taking a few breaths here. You feel a nice stretch in the right side, in the right hip and the hip flexors. And if you want to deepen the stretch, sweep your hands up, but keep your shoulders down. Inhale, exhale, start to shift your hips back, start to straighten that left leg. Hands come on either side, hips are in line, belly is lifted. You can flex that foot, bringing your toes back. Press your heel into the mat as you draw that hip back so you feel a nice stretch. Shoulders away from the ears. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, exhale, release that stretch. We're going to come onto our backs. So have a seat. And just come down with control. You can put your hands behind your thighs if you would like. And just let your weight settle here into the mat for a second. Bring your shoulders away from the ears. Find that neutral spine position. Heel of your palms on your hip bones, your fingertips meet on your pubic bone. So they should all be across. Then you can test it. Arch your back, low back. So you're tilting your pelvis away. You can feel the difference. The fingertips are lower than the heel of your palm. And then tuck, and you can feel your fingertips are above. So find that spot where your fingertips are in line with the heels of your palms. And that's your neutral position. Pulling your belly in and up. Let's just do a few windshield wipers here, side to side. Your feet can be slightly wider than your hips. Just a little stretch for that low back. And then bring your knees back up towards the ceiling. Good, so we're gonna do the 100 here, but we're not gonna come up into your C curve. We're gonna either leave your feet down or, more challenge for the core, bring your knees up to that chair position. You want the knees and the hips in line. Feet are relaxed, so your toes are slightly pointed. Your calves are parallel to the floor. And you're gonna have super straight arms. We're not gonna lift our head, but we're gonna press down like you're bouncing a little ball, but nothing else moves it but your arms. Then breathe in for 5 and out for 5. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, exhale. 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 Really straight arms and exhale. Pull your belly deeper and exhale, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, last set. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Pull those knees into your chest. You can cross at the ankles or just keep your legs parallel. Give a little rock side to side, maybe shrug your shoulders, rock your head side to side. We're gonna do toe dips next. So legs come back to chair, arms are at your side. Pull your shoulders back and away from your ears. And then imagine your leg is in a cast. You're gonna hinge that leg forward from the hip, not by dropping your heel. So imagine there's a pool of water. You're dipping your toe in and pulling in with your core to lift it back up. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. And you only go as low as you can keep that low back connected to the mat. You don't want it lifting up. Inhale through the nose, exhale, lift. So just being mindful of your low back. You don't need to touch the floor. You only need to feel like your core is working, pulling your belly in and up. Let's do one more on each side. Hold it here, glue your legs together. Now, if this is too much, you can continue with a single leg, or you can lower both to the point you feel a challenge and you pull back up. But don't let your low back lift up. Lift your pelvic floor. Drop that belly button down towards the spine. Inhale and exhale, lift. Inhale, pulling in with your core, lift up. 2 more. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, pull your ribs together, pull your belly in. Just pull your knees in for a second, rock side to side. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to make a diamond shape with our legs. So first, bring your legs to chair with your legs together, feet are touching, and just open your knees a little bit. They might be even with your hips or just slightly wider. Knees still over your hips. And then with just one leg, in keeping that position, you're going to lower and lift. Opposite leg and lift. So you're getting a little inner thigh, outer thigh action here. Pull the belly in as you lower the leg. Inhale, exhale, lift. Head stays down, spine stays neutral. And keep breathing. One more on each side. Now we're going to hold it here. Now glue your feet together. You're making that diamond shape with your legs. Hold on to that shape as you lower both legs down. Pull in with your core and lift. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Don't let your low back pop up. Inhale and exhale, lift. 2 more. And then last one. And hold and pull your knees in and rock side to side. One hand on each knee, make big circles away from each other. And then towards each other. Just giving a nice little stretch, loosening up the pelvis, bringing your feet down, lengthen those legs out, reach your arms overhead, give yourself a nice full body stretch, push through those heels, reach with your arms. Try not to let your ribs pop up and separate. You want to keep everything connected. Stay connected at the center. And then bring your arms down by your side. We're going to do some single leg circles, starting with a little leg work. So the left leg is going to stay down. That's your anchor. Press that heel into the mat. Keep your foot flexed. Lift that right leg up. Flex that foot. You want to feel like you're pushing your foot up, but you're pressing your heel down. Lower till you're hovering above the mat. Point, lengthen that leg, lift back up. Flex down, point, and lift. Inhale down, exhale, point, lift. And it's a slow, controlled movement, so you really feel your core working and your leg lengthening. Hold it at the top. Now flex the foot, and you're going to drop that leg straight out to the side, only as far as you can keep this left hip down. Pull it back up with your inner thigh. Drop, lift. Drop, lift, lengthen that leg like you're trying to put a footprint on the ceiling. Keeping that left hip down. One more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Just pull that knee into your chest for a second. Give it a little stretch. And then straighten that leg out again. Point your toes. Rotate your whole leg from the hip socket to the right. So the knee goes to the right. You're opening up that hip. You're going to start to draw a circle. Circle to the left. Cross over the bottom leg. Lift back up. Only go as low as you can keep your low back on the mat, your belly from popping up. They don't have to be big circles. You just have to feel the work. You can make it more challenging by lifting your arms up, and that takes away some of the stability to help you keep your hips from moving. One more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Hold it here. Now go to the right. Circle around, lift and hold. Circle to the right. Cross over, lift, hold. Inhale. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Try to keep that left hip glued down. The back of the pelvis is heavy on the mat. Lift, hold, pull that right knee into your chest. And then we'll give it a nice stretch. You're going to lengthen that right leg out. Flex the foot, and you can hold behind your thigh or your calf. Just depends on your flexibility. And one side can be more flexible than the other, so just be gentle. Shoulders down. And then flex and point. Push through the heel and point. 2 more. And then just let that right leg float down to the mat. And now we're going to bring that left leg up. So you're going to float it up. The right leg is the anchor now, so you're pushing through that heel, pressing that heel into the mat. The left leg, the foot is flexed. You're pressing your foot up. You're pressing your hip down. So find length at the back of this left leg. Shoulders away from the ears. Lower down so your foot is just hovering above the mat. Point, reach with that leg as you lift back up. Flex lower. Point, pull in with your core, lift. Flex lower. Point, lift. 2 more. 1 more. Flex down. Point, lift. Hold it here. We're going to rotate the whole leg, the knee facing to the left. You're going to circle to the right. Oh, sorry, I forgot to drop to the side. Flex that foot, drop to the left side, keep your right hip down, pull back up. So you're keeping your foot flexed the whole time. Inhale as you lower, only go as low as you can keep your right hip down. Exhale, lift. 2 more. And then last one. Hold it here. Now we point the toe, rotate your whole leg to the left, start to circle to the right, cross over, lift, hold. Inhale, exhale, circle around. Maybe try reaching your arms up to make your core work a little bit harder. You reach up, but pull in at the shoulder socket. Nice big circle, or as big as you can make it without your hips rocking side to side. Hold it and reverse. Inhale, exhale, circle around. 2 more. And then last one, lift and hold, pull that knee into your chest. And then we're going to get a nice hamstring stretch here. So you're going to start to straighten that leg up. And you can flex that foot, hold behind your thigh, behind your calf, wherever you can feel a nice stretch. You might notice you're tighter on one side than the other, which is normal. So just be mindful of each side, and then flex and point, just to deepen the stretch. Pull that left knee into your chest, bring that right knee up, pull your right knee into your chest, and just rock side to side. Bring your feet together, grab your ankles from the inside of your legs, grab your ankles. You can press your elbows into your thighs and rock side to side. Just keep your feet connected. So you get a little inner thigh stretch too as you rock side to side. Don't let your tailbone lift up, keep it on the mat. Good, so we're gonna do a little bit more here with the core and the legs. We're going to bring both legs straight up towards the ceiling. You're going to flex both of your feet, and your arms are at your side again. And you're just going to lower the right leg down, lift it up, left leg, lift. Only as low as you can keep your belly pulled down. Inhale, exhale, lift. Try to make your leg as long as you can. You're reaching with the leg. Shoulders relaxed. 1 more on each side. Hold it at the top. Make a V with your feet, and we're going to lower down so you feel a challenge to your core. Point your toes, lift. Flex, lower, point, lift. You don't have to go far to feel that core Really work hard. So only go as low as you can keep your low back connected. 2 more. Flex down, point, lift, flex down, point, lift. Now we're going to flex down, hold it, and start your frog. Keep your feet flexed, pull your heels towards your sitting bone. Knees go wider than the hips. Push out from your glutes. Resist as you pull, and imagine you're pulling a big heavy weight towards you, and then it's so heavy and you're pushing it away. So you're resisting in, resisting out. Squeeze your inner thighs when your legs straighten. Lift your pelvic floor, pull that belly button in. It's like you're creating a little corset around your spine, pulling all of those muscles in, keeping it neutral. 2 more. Try to relax your face and your neck. Hold it here, bring your legs straight up again. Flex your feet, and you're gonna open wide so you feel a stretch, but don't let your hips rock side to side. Point your toes, draw them back together. Flex, open, point, pull together. Flex, open, pull that belly button down, point, pull together. Inhale, breathe in through the nose. Exhale, pull your belly in, pull your ribs together. 2 more. Last one. Double leg circles here. Keep your toes pointed. You're just going to draw a little circle by separating your legs, circling, bringing them back together. Does not have to be a big circle. You can experiment with how low you can go, keeping any tension out of your low back. Legs are really long. 1 more. Hold it. Now reverse. Lower, circle around. Keep that tailbone on the mat. 2 more. Bring your legs together, bend your knees, pull your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. We're going to do a little bridging here. So we're going to bring our feet down onto the mat. Feet are in line with the hips. Your spine is neutral to start. You're pressing your triceps into the mat, pulling your shoulders away from the ears. Press into all 4 corners of the feet. Tuck your tailbone and start to lift your hips up so you're a straight line from your knees all the way to your sternum. So just look and picture that straight line, squeezing your glutes, pushing your knees away from you, pulling your belly in. And then you come down 1 bone at a time, like a string of pearls. You release that pelvic tilt. You can even tilt your pelvis away and arch a little bit, and then tuck, press into your feet, rise back up into your bridge. Squeeze your glutes, pull your belly in, you're sandwiching everything into the center, and slowly come down. Maybe you do a little tilting away here if you want. Use your core to tuck, press into your feet, come up. Now there's an option here if you want to make this more challenging. Really press into that left foot, bring that right leg up to chair, and lower it. Press into the right foot, bring the left leg up to chair, and lower it. So the challenge here is to not let your hips drop as you're doing marching. Press your triceps down. Keep that nice line from your knees to your sternum. Take your time. 90-degree angle in your leg. Let's do 1 more on each side. Hold. Slowly come down, 1 bone at a time. Pull your knees in. And then you can either kick your legs and roll up or just come to the side and you're going to have a seat. We're going to do a few seated exercises here. We're going to start with our legs crisscrossed. We're going to do a little bit of twisting. So with your legs, if this is uncomfortable for you, maybe you just have your legs straight in front of you. And if you ever feel like you can't sit down, being lifted, if you feel like you have to bend forward or back, maybe put some pillows down and lift yourself up. And that helps you to have a nice flat back. So when you're sitting, you always want to imagine that you're sitting up against a wall. So your shoulders and your hips are in line. So nice straight line here, belly pulled in, shoulders are down. We're just going to do some spine twisting. So it's important to move your spine side to side, twisting, and then lifting and lengthening, as well as the flexion that we do, which we're doing very little of it because we're focusing on your low back here. So pull yourself up so you're right up on top of your sitting bones. Pull your belly in, shoulders are down, but feel like you're lifting your ribs up, hands across the chest, and you're going to start to rotate the ribs around the spine and look over your shoulder, lift the ribs up, come center, start to twist left, lift up, come center, twist right, deep breath in, exhale, center. Think of it more as the rib cage moving, not your shoulders. Shoulders just going along for the ride. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you can bring your hands behind the head, pull your elbows back, shoulders down, twist, lift, come center, twist, lift up, get tall, come center. Let's do one more on each side. And rest here. So we're going to do mermaid here. Last time we did it with our legs crossed. This time we're going to do it more traditionally. We're going to stagger our legs though. So you're going to bring the right leg in front like this, even with the front edge of your mat, and the left leg out to the side. So even in this position, you want to feel lifted up. You don't want to be out here. Right hand can be on the mat, and you're going to lift up with that left arm, and you bend that right arm, and you reach with that arm. You reach with your left arm as you push your hip away. So you should feel a nice stretch up that left side. And then really focus on turning on those side body muscles to lift you up more than pushing up. You want to pull up with those left side body muscles and come up. Lift up, reach, find length up that left side, pull yourself up. Inhale, exhale, reach, pull yourself up as you inhale. Exhale, reach, pull that belly in. Come all the way up. Now take your right arm and go up and over to the left side. Reach, reach, and come all the way up. Switch sides. So you're just going to stagger your legs in a different direction here. The left leg is in front, right leg out to the side. Pull yourself up so you're centered and you're lifted. Shoulders are down. Left hand on the mat, right arm reaching, palm towards the ceiling. Lift and then curl over as you bend that left elbow. Reach with your arm, press your hip away. Pull yourself up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. And pull yourself up. Shoulders stay down. And pull from the side body muscles. Let's do one more. And then we're going to do a counter stretch. Lift yourself up. Right hand comes down. Left arm comes up and over. And lift and sit up tall. We're going to do a little quad work here. We're going to do seated leg lifts. So your legs come straight out in front of you. Now, if you have trouble sitting up tall, again, try sitting on some pillows, or maybe even sitting on a chair, you can do this, or you can sit up against the wall. But if you're on the floor, bring your left leg in, and you can have your hands on your thigh. You can have genie arms, whatever works for you. You can also press into the mat so you can lift your chest. Point the toes of the right leg and start lifting. Keep breathing. 8, 9, 10. Now flex that foot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex out to the side. Sit up taller. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex in. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake that out. Don't worry about how far you go in or out. It's different on both sides. I don't have a lot of range of motion with my right leg. Maybe I have a little bit more with the left. That's normal. So just you're going to feel it no matter how far you bring that foot in or out. So pull yourself up, shoulders down, point your toes, lift that left leg. Get right up on your sitting bones. Now flex. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex out to the side, sit up taller. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex in. Don't fall back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake that out. Bring the soles of your feet together, sit up tall, maybe press your elbows into your inner thighs. I don't want you rounding forward. I just want you to get that stretch in your legs, shoulders down. And then we're going to come onto our stomachs. So we're going to come stretch out on the mat. We're going to start with some modified swan. So you can turn your legs, you can turn your knees out to the side. Legs can be slightly wider than your hips. Hands under the shoulders. And you want to press your pubic bone down. So you're almost tucking your pelvis. You're anchoring yourself down with the pubic bone, protecting your low back. Hands under the shoulders, elbows are glued to the ribs, shoulders pulled away from your ears. As you inhale, you're going to press into your hands, breathe in through the nose, lift your chest, look a little bit forward, exhale, lower. Press your pubic bone down, lift up, but also feel like you're pulling your chest through your arms. It's not about how high you lift up. You want to find length in your spine, right through the crown of your head. Legs are reaching behind you. Inhale, exhale, lower. 2 more. Elbows glued to the ribs, belly lifted up towards your spine. Last one. And lower. We're going to hold it here. You're going to bring your arms out to a T. So your head is hovering above the mat. You're just looking down. You're going to squeeze your glutes and you're going to lift your legs. You start to beat your heels together. Keep pressing your pubic bone down. You're lengthening your tailbone away from you. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Beat those heels together. Reach with your arms. See if you can lift your chest a little bit higher and forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Hold it. Crisscross, one over, one under. Reach with your legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Hold it. Make a star shape with your body. So legs are open, arms reaching. Inhale, you're going to close that shape. Lift your chest, arms and legs come together. Reach out. Inhale, lift, lengthen, exhale, lower. Lift, pull your chest forward and lower. 2 more. Last one, deep breath in and lower. Lower down, hands under your shoulders. Push up and back into child pose for a minute. Big toes together, knees apart, working your hips back. Just release any tension in your back. Maybe grab some water. Maybe move your hips side to side if you're feeling any tightness. Just whatever feels good. Come back to your hands and knees for a second. Just reset with a couple cat and cow stretches. Lifting your belly up towards your spine. Not letting your weight sink into your wrists. Come back to neutral, and then we're going to come to lying on our right side. So we're going to do a little bit of side lying legs here. We're going to do the clamshell series. So really getting at those glutes. So we're going to stretch out on our right side. You can prop your head up with your hand. You can also lower your head onto your arm if that feels comfortable. You can switch while you're doing it. It's totally up to you. So your legs are bent, your knees are at the front edge, and your feet are glued together. And you can have this left arm resting in front of you on your hip, straight up or behind your head. It's totally up to you. The most important thing is that your shoulders are stacked, your hips are stacked, and your spine is neutral. So you're not tucking or arching here. So just check your placement, make sure everything is lined up properly. And then we're going to lift that top knee only as far as you can keep your hips stacked. So you don't want to be back here. You want to keep your hips stacked as if you could rest a glass of water. Let's see if I can rest my water bottle. Nope. There we go. So that's as far as I should go, right there, and lower. So you find your top range and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Find the hand position that feels comfortable for you. What you also want to be aware of is not to let your weight sink down into the mat. So don't let your right ribs just collapse into the mat. Keep those muscles active. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, pull your belly in and up. 2, now hold it up at the top of your range, little pulse up. Keep breathing. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower that knee down. Now the whole leg is going to lift up. My knee and my foot are in line. Imagine there's a wall right in front of you. I'm just tracing a line up and down that wall. So you bring your leg down, you lift it up. Down, the whole leg comes up and down. Pull your belly in and up. You're lifting your pelvic floor. Hold it up, straighten that leg out. Make it really long. Now imagine there's a big rubber ball under your foot. Press down, down, down. Make your leg really long. 8, 9, 10. Now hold it down. The focus is on the up, up. Strong, sharp movement. 8, 9, 10. Hold it here. Start to circle forward, but don't let your hips move. Little circles. 8, 9, 10. Now reverse. Pull your belly in, shoulders in line, hips in line. 8, 9, 10. Hold it here. Swing your leg forward so it's straight in front of you. Lift and lower. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it, circle forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5. With control, lower that leg down, bend the knee, pat it out if you're feeling tight. Come onto your back. Bend your knees. Cross that left foot over the right knee. And just gently open up that hip. Maybe this is enough of a stretch right here, but if you want to deepen it, you pick up that right foot and grab behind the right thigh with 2 hands. Maybe press your left elbow into your left thigh. Just getting a little figure 4 stretch, stretching out those glutes and the hip flexors. And then release. Bring those legs down. Bring your feet down, wider than your hips, windshield wiper side to side for a second. If you let your knees be heavy on one side, you can really feel that stretch in the hips. Good, so we're just gonna push ourselves up, swing your legs to the other side. Your knees are gonna be bent again for the clamshell series. Oops, lost my microphone. Hold on. Yeah, technical difficulties. Good, so your shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, your knees are bent and at the front edge. Find the top of your range. That's as far as you can lift that top leg without your hip rolling back. So keep them stacked, belly pulled in, then lower and lift. Keep breathing, pulling your belly in and up. 10 more. 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it at the top, little pulse here. So we're all the way at the top. We're just doing tiny little pulse. 10 more. Keep breathing. Pull your belly in. Lower that knee down. Now the whole leg, staying bent, knee and hip in line, comes up and down. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Remember, don't let your left ribs start to sink into that mat. Keep pulling everything into the center. 3, 2, 1, hold it here. Straighten that leg out. If you look out to the side, your leg is in line with your hip. And then imagine you're pressing against resistance. You're pressing on a ball. Push, push. But lengthen, reach with your leg. 8, 9, 10. Now hold it down. You're resisting up. Press up. You're pushing up on a weight. 8, 9, and 10. Hold it here. Your foot is still flexed. Little circles forward. Reach with that leg. Imagine you're putting your footprint on the wall. Hold it. Now reverse. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring with control. Swing that leg right in front of you. Flex that foot. Lift and lower. But don't let your hip roll back. 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it, circle forward. Yes, this hurts. Reach with the leg and reverse. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently lower that leg down, bend your knee. Pat it out if you're feeling tight. And roll onto your back. Cross that right foot over the left knee, keeping that left foot down to start, and maybe this is enough of a stretch right here. You can also press down, press onto your thigh and away, and it kind of gives you a little massage. And if you want to deepen the stretch, you're going to lift that left foot and grab behind the left thigh with 2 hands. Maybe press your right elbow into your right thigh to open up the hip even more. So just however you feel, one side might feel tighter than the other. Just respect your body's needs here. And then we're going to place that left foot down. The right foot comes down. Knees go wider than your hips. Windshield wiper side to side again. Let the knees be heavy on one side and then the other. Let them stay on the right side. Just let them be heavy here, and you can feel that stretch in your left hip. Then pick up your right foot and place the outer edge on the outside of your left knee. And then you can start to press down, and you feel a little stretch here. And you can even press down and away. Reach your left arm up, look over your left shoulder. Get a nice stretch up that whole left side. Then release that stretch, place that foot down. Let your knees be heavy on the left side. And first, just let them be heavy so you feel a stretch here. And this might be enough of a stretch for you. You might not want to take it to the next stage, but if you do want to, you pick up your left foot, place the outer edge of that foot, again, on the outside edge of the right knee, and let the weight of that left leg just open up the hip even more. Then you can feel, to deepen it, the stretch even more, press down with that left foot and away. So you're stretching and creating space in this right hip. Maybe lift your right arm up overhead, look up at your hand as you press down and away. And then release that stretch, bring your arm down, place your foot down, bring your arms back up to center. Heel toe your feet to the outer edge of the mat, or maybe even on the floor. And slowly and gently bring your knees together. Don't let your back start to arch here. Keep that neutral. Pull that belly in and up. So you're getting a gentle stretch of the outer thighs. If you want to add an upper body stretch, you can bring your arms to goalpost arms or overhead. So you get a little stretch here, but keep your ribs together. Don't let your back pop up. Lost it again. Hold on. Now heel toe your feet back to the center so that the soles of your feet come together, and slowly let your knees open wide. So you get a gentle inner thigh stretch. Belly's pulled in and up. Keep that neutral pelvis. You're not letting your low back lift up. Inhale and exhale. You can use your hands or just use your muscles in your legs to pull your knees in. And then we're going to come back up and we're going to finish like we started. We're going to finish with a little bit of cat-cow just to release any tension in the back. So on your hands and knees, find that neutral spine position. Your belly's lifted. Inhale, head and tailbone come up. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, head and tailbone come up. And exhale, rounding through the spine. And then one more. And finding your neutral. And that